What's up, guys? I'm John.
I'm Sharisse.
And we are back with another Cupid's Corner. That's right. Every week, me and my beautiful wife over here are bringing you guys great tips, tricks, information that will hopefully ignite, excite, and take your relationship to a whole new, healthy, and great level.
Dun, 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 dun.
Right? So, we've had our years of experience, which is like 16 going on 17 years.
It's really 30 because we've spent every single minute together. So it's times.
Yeah.
Remember, we did the times.
Live together, work together, raise kids together.
Yeah, hang out together.
All these great things
Drive
we
together
do,
in separate
right?
cars.
So, we've got a lot of experience along the way, and we've been through a lot of trials and tribulations ourselves. Nobody's perfect, and no relationship is perfect. So at that point, you always got to be working towards a better relationship, right? And, with this, we always want to give you guys great information, and we get it from other people that we've seen or seen their relationship and what they've went through too as well. So we apply all this to ours, and we want you to help you apply it all to yours.
Yep.
So today is a really simple one. So it's really easy for you and your partner to be in a great relationship if everything is peachy and cream.
Yeah.
That means everything is going right and there's no wrong.
Right.
Right? And you have those so-called ride or dies.
Me.
So Sharisse is a ride or die.
I am a ride or die.
She's been battlefield tested. So, you really don't know. They always say it, but you really don't know until it comes down to the situation, and then you see what really happens. Mm-hmm. And if you see over multiple situations, there's a trend there, right? That's what you can predict that might happen in the future. Mm-hmm. But if they leave right off the bat, you know that, hey, listen, this was not meant to be, hopefully.
Or they deviate.
Yeah, or they deviate. Yeah, this is true.
They may not even leave. They might just deviate.
This is true.
Right? Deviate as far as maybe just not as much love, not as much time. They might want to go do something else.
They might go find another friend.
They might go
still keep you around. Maybe you're supporting them financially.
Maybe you're paying the bills, so they got to kind of keep you around.
Yep.
I mean, I know it's hurtful things, but this is real life.
Yes.
It really is.
Yes. So, at that point, you got to work towards this. And at that point, nobody can predict if their partner, unless they've been battlefield tested, is really going to come through. Now, they can show you all kinds of signs that can show you, hey, listen, I'm going to be ready when that time comes. Because, like I said, nobody can predict these things. So at that point, if they're there, they're very loyal to you, they're always around, I mean, they want the best for you, and they're not trying to bring you down in any way, shape, or form, they're probably going to be on your side unless you cross them, because you know how women are, they'll get scorned and come after you. So don't do that. So if you're doing the right thing, right, then they'll probably come through on that back end.
So John, they always love the real life stories, and we've been there, we've done that, so we're going to share.
Okay.
The real life story of me being battlefield tested, right?
Okay.
Because there's actually a few times I've been battlefield tested, quote unquote, John says. But the real battlefield test, I believe anyway, is that right before we open Titan, is when I call it all the time, I say it, we hit rock bottom, right? Mm-hmm. I was in a bad car accident, so I wasn't working at the time. Our house went to foreclosure for other reasons that had nothing to do with us. And it just was a really bad time. And, when I met John, things were good. He was great. I was great. We were working. Everything was phenomenal. And then all of a sudden we got to this point where it was a struggle. Mm-hmm. Every day was a struggle. And that's kind of, some of the things that keeps us going, is that we remember those struggles. I remember that we don't want to go through those struggles again, and we'll do anything to not be in that position again. But the important part is that, when we hit rock bottom, we did it together, right? Mm-hmm. Now we're, up on the top and everything's great, but he knows that if we ever hit rock bottom, that I'm going to be there no matter what. And then, it doesn't matter if it might be both you guys hit rock bottom. It might be just one of you guys that hit rock bottom. But if the one party hits rock bottom and you're still doing great, you have to remember that, that person was there for you, before all this went down. Mm-hmm. So why would you not want to be there for them at their lowest point?
Right.
Yeah,
it makes sense. And like I said, you're going to go through all types of things in your life, and it's not just hitting rock bottom per se. Mm-hmm. It could be something else. Maybe you lose your job. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe you do something that's out of character one time, and they can't, forgive you for that.
So, that might be a thing.
That might be a thing. So these are things that, you really should work on for yourself and make sure that you're a good person and you're doing the right thing. And then hopefully you find a partner that fits that criteria too as well. And time will tell, right?
Time will tell.
Time will tell. And
it sucks though. It's like I wish I had the,
is.
you know. Well, I don't, because I'm very well off here in my relationship. So thank God for that. But I, you know, for all of you guys, I wish you guys had a crystal ball so you could be like, you know, oh, you know what? Let me not waste my time on this person because they're gonna leave if things go bad. Yeah. I personally think that, you know, I think money is a big issue. I feel like when if money's good and then all of a sudden money is bad, I feel like that's really, and it could be just the way I grew up and, you know, way I saw my parents argue. I mean, I feel like that's a thing. Yeah. The next thing would be, you know, maybe like drug use, alcohol use, that kind of stuff. That brings people down. And then you got to be with your partner to get them through it. Right. You know, like it's, you know, maybe a family member dies. That's really rough.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, your puppy dies, you know, I mean, that's like your kid too, right?
That's
or
baby.
People actually do lose their children one way or the other. Maybe it's in childbirth, maybe it's a young age from some accident, you know, at that point, and that could break the bond up too as well, because one partner might be blaming the other partner of what happened in that situation, and they can never forgive them, right? Or they think about something that happens and it breaks them away, and then they start growing in different directions. So these are things that are very important that, you know, listen, nobody can predict anything, and you know what, accidents happen and things happen, but it's what you do after that, I think, that makes the most impact, I guess, on your relationship. Because listen, you can either go with it and step right in and help and be with your partner and support them and grow together still, or you can just separate. But if you're going to go that separation route, I'm telling you, if you're on that edge, because, you know, there's two sides of this coin. If you're on that side, then, you know, then maybe it is better for you to just move on too as well, instead of stay there and dragging both of you and your partner down in the relationship. So, I mean, I think I think it's a very important to
listen, me and John, we're not perfect. And, you know, we have our arguments too. We have our disagreements. We have things that we may not see eye to eye on sometimes, but you know, you got to come to the solution, right? And you know, sometimes it really is trying to meet them at the halfway point. You know, that's really, it's not always like my way, or I mean, I really do like it my way, compromise. But you know, you do have to compromise. Yeah.
So that's it for this week. Good times, bad times, stick by your partner, especially if you're married. That should be in your vows. Anyway, we'll see you next Sunday at 11 a.m. Cupid's Corner with me and my beautiful wife, Sharisse, over here. Catch us live, DVR us. Check us out on YouTube at typemedicalcenter.com. Well, Type Medical Center. And then you can check out the website, typemedicalcenter.com. We'll see you next week. Cupid's Corner, 11 a.m. See you then.
See you then.